Hi, here I'm going to talk about how to introduce yourself without stuttering. Have you ever tried to introduce yourself and stuttered a lot? Very embarrassing and not the way you wanted to make your first impression. I'm Mark Power. I'm a stuttering specialist, and I'd like to answer some of your questions about stuttering and see what works for you and what doesn't. So, one of the hardest speaking situations for a person who stutters is introducing themselves. And here's why: there's really no way to talk around or change words when you're saying your name, like Mark Power. Well, it kind of starts with an M, and it rhymes with bark. You really would sound kind of foolish if you uh, use your usual techniques of talking around and changing words. You can't change the words when it's your name. Although I've heard some people do. I've heard the story that some person who stutters at Starbucks was ordering his coffee, and they asked him his name. He couldn't say his name, George, so he said Sam. And the guy wrote it down, made the coffee, and he called out Sam. And this guy forgot he had changed his name and never got his coffee. So you can change your name, but it doesn't work out in real life very well. So there's really no way to talk around your actual name. It's your name. You're on the spot. Uh, and somebody might say, if you're hesitating or blocking, don't you know your own name? That's happened to me. Another thing that happened to me a lot, I don't know if it's happened to you, but when I was introducing myself or trying to introduce myself without stuttering, the only things I was thinking of in that whole situation were how I could not stutter. And I was dreading that time where I had to open my mouth and say my name. So usually the other person would be introducing themselves first and say, hi, I'm George, nice to meet you. And then I would be not paying attention to what they were saying because I was so dreading what I needed to say next. The result was I typically didn't remember anybody else's name because when they introduced themselves, didn't have any energy to pay attention at all. So when you can say your name without stuttering, then you can concentrate on the other person and really listen to them. So here's some techniques that may help you specifically to say your name. I hate to give little tricks, but in the meantime, before you enroll in a treatment that would help you, that's an intensive treatment that I'm going to talk about a little later. These might help you in the meantime. So I would like to try these techniques, starting rather than focusing on your first sound of your first name and getting very panicked. Take a look at a whole phrase. So when you're saying your name, start out with simply, my name is Mark Power, which has a phrase before that is easier to say and you've had less problems with the phrase than you have with saying your name. Also, you can prolong the first sound slightly. In other words, rather than my name is, you can say, my name is Mark Power, and kind of keep those things a little extended, based on the idea that if you change the way you talk, you don't stutter. That's why singing works, you don't stutter. That's why talking with an accent works, you don't stutter. If you prolong sounds like that, you're slightly changing the way you talk. So once again, you need to focus on that whole phrase. That gets your mind onto how you're going to roll your voice all through the phrase rather than getting stuck on a certain feared sound or a certain feared word. So this is kind of a quick fix. May give you some relief, but if you really want to do something about your stuttering, I highly recommend that you enroll in an intensive stuttering treatment from a stuttering specialist. Now, I stuttered myself for 35 years. Then I became a speech pathologist. And for the past 20 years, I've been specializing in stuttering treatment. The offering I have now is quite exciting. There's a link at the bottom to arrange a consultation with me, and we can talk about what your issues are and whether you're a good candidate for this program. So let me know if I can help, okay? And thanks for listening. Mark Power here, and if you like this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful videos like this one. Also, be sure to hit the share button and leave us a comment below so that others can benefit from it as well. I'll be recording a lot more helpful videos like this one to help you overcome your stuttering. And if you'd like to be notified, then click on the bell icon below.